Hello everybody and welcome back. I hope today you are ready to do some really creative things and to start to get those creative juices flowing and to have some fun. So last week I introduced you to a couple of ways of looking at materials and suggested some places where you could find materials at home, maybe in the supermarket, using things that don't cost a lot of money. So we talked about the food coloring and collecting some jars to put the food coloring in. Um, Also, I suggested different ways of making brushes. So we discussed making brushes from material, we discussed making brushes from hair, and this was from the fronds of a broom, and even a feather. So there's some ways of creating your own brush. And we also talked about what we can create on. So the obvious thing was paper, and we talked about cardboard, wood, fabric. So I hope that you managed to gather various different things from your home to start creating with. And today we are going to start with a subject which is very special for everybody, and it can be done by youngsters, teenagers, adults, elderly people, and that is the mandala. Now, mandala means circle. It's a Sanskrit word. It actually means sacred circle. And the circle is something that people have created in or within for centuries, since the beginning of time, actually. And it is a special place where there's no wrong or right, where we can really express ourselves and where everything kind of comes together. So the mandala it's a symbol. Through history, it's been a symbol for God, for self, for wholeness, for health, for well-being. So I think it's a really good place to start is within a circle. And what we are going to do is we're going to explore a series of different types of mandalas using different techniques and different ways in each time. And what I'm hoping is that you're going to start to gather these different skills together and really create like a little library of tips and techniques and different ways of creating. You're going to find the things that suit you best. Some things you'll like, other things you won't, and that's art and life. So yes, let's look at starting our mandalas today. And what I would like to suggest is that you could start collecting circles because circles are quite useful to draw around to create circles within circles. So I've got a plate, a dinner plate. I love this one, an old record. I have a CD. I have another smaller plate. I have a circle which cakes were put on and another little round circle of a different size. So I've got all sorts of different circles that I can use over the next few weeks for my mandalas. Okay, I'm going to start with creating a large circle. And what we're going to do is we are going to create on two different sizes. The one is a square piece of paper. Of course, it could also be a piece of card if you don't have paper. And I'm also going to create a smaller mandala on a smaller piece of paper. So the reason that I'm going to do this is because the grade 4s, term 1, grade 4 are doing mobile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create each time a little mandala, which we are then going to make into a mobile. A mobile is something that hangs. It's something that can swing. It's something that is light. It's something that's joyful, that can be colorful. And so we are going to create mobiles from our circles. And we are also going to look at the mandala as the grade 6 term 1 project, and that is Radiating Patterns. So today we're not going to work so much with the pattern itself, not in a formal sense, but that will come next week in a little bit more detail. So for now, I'd like you to make sure that you've got at least your biggest circle and your food coloring and your jars. And there's one or two other extra things that I'd like you to have this week. The one is a little bit of bleach, if you can get hold of it. A container to put your bleach in. And a white candle. And if you have, it will be very useful to have some earbuds. You actually get different kinds. This is a round-topped earbud, and then here I've also got kind of a pointy earbud, but you just need to get any earbud of sorts. And lastly, if you could get a stick, it can be a stick from the garden. It doesn't need to be a society stick, but a stick which you're going to be drawing with. So take a moment and gather your materials together, and I'll see you just now.